This is the new 2023 Tesla Model Y. It's the best-selling Tesla within the company's popular fleet and was just recognized as the best-selling car in the world as we know it, surpassing the long-standing reign of everyone's fan favorite, the Toyota Corolla. This is quite a feat for Tesla and for EVs in general, and no doubt one of the main reasons why the Model Y has shot up in popularity as of late is because of the significant and rather unexpected price drops this car has seen in a pretty short amount of time. For better context, prior to January of this year, a long-range Tesla Model Y had a base price of $65,990. You can order the exact same car today for $50,490, over $15K cheaper than what it was not too long ago, and in addition to that, it also qualifies for the full $7,500 EV tax credit. So it's no surprise that Model Ys have been flying off the shelf, as it's a really good time to buy one. And a good buddy of mine recently took delivery of his 2023 long-range Tesla Model Y and was cool enough to let me borrow it to test out. So I thought I'd put together this comprehensive review of the world's most popular car, all in an effort to see if it's the right one for you. And real quick, if you plan on ordering a Tesla and you'd like some free Tesla credits, go ahead and use my referral code that's in the description. By doing so, both you and I will earn Tesla credits that could be used for free supercharging miles and other stuff in the Tesla store. They just started taking referrals for cars again. It's a win-win if you plan on ordering. The link is in the description below. But let's jump right into learning more about the 2023 Tesla Model Y by talking about its physical design and why it's one of the more polarizing components of the vehicle. So the Model Y is considered to be a compact SUV, but it's important to note that it shares the same platform as the Tesla Model 3 that came before it. So there's a plethora of physical design similarities between these two cars. The Model Y has a very similar front end with the large headlamps and sporty curves. The sleek LED headlights enhance the Model Y's modern appeal and provides excellent visibility on the road, to the point where people are going to be convinced that you're using your high beams. The absence of a traditional grille gives it a clean, futuristic look that some love while others hate, while also contributing to its aerodynamic performance. The defined sporty lines extend across the side of the car with the signature flush door handles and chrome deleted black finish. Its sculpted body panels not only contribute to the vehicle's aesthetics, but again also improves its aerodynamics, helping maximize its range. And the Model Y culminates with the tall but rather compact tail. This design makes it so it's not the biggest compact SUV when it comes to how it looks on the outside. At certain angles, it could look more like an enlarged hatchback. Now, my buddy configured his car with the upgraded 20-inch induction wheels, which I think makes for a significant improvement to the aesthetics of the Model Y. Especially with this color, the black on black looks pretty incredible, I'm not gonna lie. Now, it is a $2,000 upgrade though, and it also comes at the cost of some range, so keep that in mind. I think it's personally worth it, mainly because I'm not a fan of the aero wheel hubcaps from a look perspective, and to me, the range loss by going with these way better looking wheels is pretty minimal in my book. Now, earlier this year, when I was getting ready to buy my Tesla, I kept going back and forth between the Model Y and the Model 3, and I ultimately decided on the latter, mainly because, and hot take here, I kind of found the Model Y to be ugly. The dimensions of the car just felt off, it looked like a bloated Model 3, and the attempt to make the car sporty but also a basic SUV just felt kind of awkward to me. But after spending time up close with the 2023 Model Y, I'm man enough to admit that I was a bit too harsh in my criticism, and I've actually really enjoyed the look and feel of the Y in person. Now, I don't think it's going to win any beauty contests anytime soon, but it's much more of a substantial vehicle aesthetically speaking when you're actually standing next to it, rather than seeing it in photos or watching it drive off in a distance. Overall, the Model Y's physical design is a good blend of sleekness, functionality, and aerodynamic efficiency. Its clean lines, minimalistic front end, and sleek design choices create an appealing and modern aesthetic, and the Model Y delivers both style and substance in the realm of electric compact SUVs that unfortunately some will continue to love while others will likely still take a pass on. Now, if you thought the outside of the 2023 Tesla Model 3 was controversial, that's really just the tip of the iceberg, because the interior design of this car is even more polarizing. The inside of the Tesla Model Y is designed with a focus on modernity, comfort, and functionality. It offers a spacious and minimalist cabin that incorporates advanced technology and high-quality materials, providing an enjoyable driving and riding experience that tiptoes close enough to other luxury vehicles. Starting with seating, the Model Y can comfortably accommodate 5 adults with ample headroom and legroom in both the front and rear seats. This is a major selling point for this car in comparison to the more compact Model 3, and the more accommodating head and legroom are quite noticeable. This particular version of the Model Y has a 7-seat configuration, which has an optional third row. No lie, it is pretty tight, to the point where it'll likely be unreasonable to have any adults sit back there, but it's actually quite usable for younger children. The seats themselves are well padded and supported using Tesla's signature vegan leather, making long drives comfortable for both the driver and passengers. Now, the cabin's design creates an open and airy feel, thanks mainly due to the sprawling panoramic glass roof, which looks amazing. This allows natural light to flood the interior of the Model Y while still being tinted enough to where the cabin's climate doesn't become too hot or cold. Now when it comes to storage and cargo space, the Model Y offers a lot of versatility. The rear seats can be folded down to create a flat loading area, allowing for the transport of larger items. You can see here when compared to the standard trunk of the Model 3, the Model Y's utility is significantly better when it comes to the ability to haul larger items, and it's much roomier than what it seems. There's also a sub-trunk that's actually pretty deep where you can store even more cargo, which is great. And of course, the front trunk provides additional storage capacity, which again is larger in volume than the Model 3's. You also get deep storage cubbies in the front and center console to store all your personal items, making it quite easy to keep the cabin of the Model Y relatively clutter-free. Now to expand on that last statement, the reason why the Model Y's interior is so controversial is because it's by far the most minimalist design on any vehicle period. At the center of the dashboard, you'll find a large and responsive touchscreen display, which controls and visualizes virtually all the Model Y's functions and basically nothing else. So there's no traditional gauge cluster, no separate radio or climate control buttons, not even a handle for the glove compartment. It's all controlled through this display. Now this makes the interior of this car look impeccably clean, but it does come at the cost of some serious change management, as most consumers are not used to driving vehicles with such an uncommon control system. The lack of physical buttons and knobs is frustrating to some, as it can be annoying to search through a digital menu just to do something simple like opening up the glove compartment. But in my opinion, I'm one of those folks that have fully embraced this ultra minimalist design, and ironically, it's become one of my favorite features of the Tesla Model Y. Now yes, it does take some intentionality to sit down and learn how everything works and is controlled, but I am telling you now, you get used to it really quickly, as this is by far the simplest and most intuitive car user interface I've ever experienced. Accessing controls is straightforward and easy to do, and it's made much easier with the expansive voice controls that you're privy to, as well as these very functional scroll buttons on the steering wheel. And getting used to the touchscreen happens a lot faster than you think, and I've actually really learned to appreciate how much I enjoy a clutter-free cabin. It really does make the interior feel a lot roomier and open, and because it lacks any flashy design knickknacks, I feel as though this look won't age poorly over time. At the end of the day, you really have to give this approach a chance before you make a final determination on whether or not it's the right fit for you. I was super skeptical at first too, but I'm happy to say that I've done a 180 here. Now this is Tesla, however, a company that's pretty notorious for having a spotty track record when it comes to quality, so let's talk about that. Generally speaking, I feel as though the Model Y from a quality standpoint is a solid good. It's not the creme de la creme when it comes to premium, but it's to me just enough to put it in the luxury class of vehicles. Now yes, you do get some cheap materials being used, particularly the plastic seat backs that aren't the best, and Tesla is kind of known for their not so great paint jobs, but by and large, the fit and finish of the 2023 Tesla Model Ys are pretty solid. Now when my friend took delivery of his Model Y, it did have some quality issues. There was mainly some minor paint defects, but the driver's side window wouldn't automatically roll up, and there was a scratch on the back bumper. Now Tesla's service did fix all this, but it's still disappointing that new Teslas are still passing the company's quality assurance review with some pretty glaring issues. But let's get into the primary features and functionality of the 2023 Tesla Model Y, and let's start with the basics. Now all Model Ys come with dual wireless chargers for your phone underneath the display, which is great. You also get access to 4 USB Type-C chargers. There's 2 inside the center console and 2 underneath the air vents in the back seat. The Model Y is also equipped with Tesla's button activated doors with the flush door handles. Just use your thumb to push in here and grab the handle to open up the door from the outside. And when on the inside, you can open up the door by just pressing the button here. Now you can also use your mobile phone as your primary key for the Model Y, which again is very convenient, and have access to a variety of controls to your car remotely via the Tesla app. The car comes standard with power adjustable front and passenger seats, as well as heated seats for the entire cabin, which is pretty clutch for the winter season. You also get a heated steering wheel on the 2023 Tesla Model Y, which can get super warm really fast. Again, really nice to have when dealing with cold weather. Now all the new Model Ys also come with a heat pump for a better, more efficient heating system, as well as the new HEPA filtration system, and of course Tesla's rather unique vent system for its climate control. The Tesla Model Y is also equipped with Tesla's popular infotainment suite that includes access to YouTube, Netflix, Disney+, etc., as well as a variety of games and other fun Tesla Easter eggs. Now you also have access to Tesla's in-house navigation system that works incredibly well. It does a masterful job of mapping out your destination while also baking in stop to superchargers if needed. I really can't overemphasize how valuable of a feature this is. It makes driving long distances in your Tesla a walk in the park, a significant difference from other EVs that more often than not will leave you potentially stranded at a third-party charger that doesn't work. The Model Y also has a total of 6 cameras monitoring the outside of the vehicle and 1 inside that gives you access to a slew of features and controls. You get a nice blind spot camera that engages every time you use the turning signals, which is nice. You also get access to Tesla Sentry mode, which can record any movement or interactions with your vehicle while it's parked. You can also remote into any of of these cameras live using the Tesla app, much like the Ring doorbell, which is great in case you ever just want to see what's going on or if you leave like your dog in the car. But no doubt the most noteworthy Tesla feature associated with all these cameras being built into the car is autopilot. Though this car is only equipped with standard autopilot, it can be upgraded to enhanced or full self-driving if you really wanted it. Personally, I don't recommend either, as they're really expensive upgrades that don't really deliver, and the basic autopilot on this car works really well. Now, the 2023 Tesla Model Y also comes with the full premium audio system, and no lie, it sounds pretty fantastic. It comes with 13 speakers total, 1 subwoofer and 2 amps, and it makes for an extremely good listening experience. You can adjust the sound to your liking by messing around with the equalizer and setting the level of immersiveness on the speakers. I highly recommend setting it to high because, again, it sounds fantastic. And as someone who has the base Model 3 with only the partial premium audio, I can say with confidence that the full premium is noticeably better, and it definitely adds to the overall enjoyment of driving this car. Now, as feature-rich as the 2023 Tesla Model Y is, I'd be remiss if I didn't at least touch on some of the notable omissions, and one of those are the ultrasonic sensors. This is not exclusive to the Model Y. All 2023 Teslas have these sensors removed, which understandably has made a lot of consumers frustrated. Ultrasonic sensors are mainly used to help you understand how far away you are to an object, particularly useful when parking in a tight spot, and honestly is a pretty basic feature in a lot of modern cars. It also does not come with any radar system, a component that Tesla took out of most of their cars a while ago. Now, the reason why they remove these components is that Tesla has moved to a vision-based assist system that uses only the cameras for things like autopilot and parking assist. Basic autopilot seems to perform good enough using only the cameras, though there are a lot of cases of phantom braking from a lot of users. The vision-based park assist, on the other hand, is honestly not the best in my opinion. It's kind of all over the place with its readings, and with the lack of a camera in the front bumper, many believe that it's a fundamentally flawed system that can't accurately assist with parking. Now, it might not be the best illustration, but the park assist is another example of why owning a Tesla is so great, and that's because it gets better over time. The company is regularly updating its vehicles via over-the-air software updates, which keeps your car up to date with a lot of the new features, much like a smartphone. These could range from minor fixes to pretty significant upgrades like the new park assist, and it's great because it keeps your Tesla feeling new for extended periods of time. But let's get into what it's like to actually drive the 2023 Tesla Model Y, and let's start with speed because this is by far the fastest family SUV that I've ever driven. As this is the long-range version of the Model Y, it has dual electric motors and a pretty ludicrous 0 to 60 speed of 4.8 seconds. And dude, if you haven't experienced the instant torque on a Tesla before, it's seriously like nothing you've ever experienced in a car. Pressing the accelerator on the Model Y immediately thrusts you into your seats as the speed is instantaneous. It really feels like you're on a roller coaster more than you are in a car. It makes things like merging onto the highway an absolute breeze, and it just makes the car extremely fun to drive. Now, you can dial back the speed using chill mode in the settings if the speed is too much. This will lower the max speed of the Model Y and won't make the acceleration as intense. Now, one of the other unique driving features of the Tesla Model Y is the regenerative braking. The simplest way to explain it is that the accelerator pedal also kind of acts as a brake, which I know sounds bizarre. When you release the pedal, the Model Y actually slows down, capturing kinetic energy and converting it into electricity. So this regenerative braking feature reduces wear on the traditional braking system and contributes to the vehicle's overall efficiency. Also, letting off the accelerator completely, the Model Y can stop and hold without needing to press the brake at all, which again is a bit odd at first. I will admit, regen braking is pretty jarring and super weird when you first start driving, but you do get used to it quickly, and this one pedal driving is now one of my favorite features of the car. Now, when it comes to steering, the Model Y handles remarkably well for an SUV of its size. Its low center of gravity, thanks to the placement of the battery pack, contributes to its stability and responsiveness on the road. The precise steering and well-tuned suspension provide a balanced and confident driving feel, allowing the driver to navigate corners with a surprising amount of ease. Now, it's not going to feel like a true sports car, which honestly shouldn't be expected, but it's more engaging than most family SUVs out there. Now, two things about the driving experience that I was concerned about was ride quality and road noise, because the Model Y doesn't have the best track record in these areas. Now, to start with ride quality, all Model Ys have a pretty basic coil suspension, and early versions of this car have been known to be pretty awful when it comes to ride comfort. I'm happy to say that Tesla seems to have made improvements here, as my experience with the 2023 Tesla Model Y was pretty okay when talking comfort. It's definitely not as smooth as something as a Lexus, and you will feel more bumps in the road, but I didn't feel as though it was anywhere near unbearable. And mind you, this is with the upgraded 20-inch wheels, which means you're gonna feel a lot more of the road. I think you should prepare your mind for a bit of a rougher ride, but it's not nearly as bad as what I was expecting. Now when it comes to sound, considering that so much of this car is made out of glass, the Model Y again has a spotty track record when it comes to managing road and wind noise. The newer models do come with double pane front acoustic windows for better sound dampening, and overall, again, I think I was expecting this problem to be worse than it was. Road and wind noise are more apparent, but I feel as though it's mainly because there's no engine sound whatsoever, not because of poor soundproofing. And in most cases, when I'm listening to music or a podcast, it's virtually a non-issue. And that brings me to the last and probably one of the most important aspects about driving the 2023 Tesla Model Y, and that of course is its range. The long-range Model Y is equipped with a battery pack which boasts one of the best EPA estimated ranges within its category, as it can go around 330 miles on a full charge, again slightly lower with the larger induction wheels. Now what you'll actually get in range will depend on a multitude of factors, including how often you're using the highway, the weather outside, and how fast you're really pushing the car. All to say though, the range on the long-range Model Y is pretty fantastic all things considered, as you can drive a reasonably high amount of time on a full charge. This is going to be more important if you won't have access to a home charger and will rely solely on public chargers, as you're going to likely want to have as much range as possible in between charges. Now if you are able to charge at home, this is more than enough range to comfortably get you around on a day-to-day basis without ever having to think about charging in the middle of the day. Now it does use a nickel-based lithium-ion battery, so it's not recommended to charge to 100% regularly. The general best practice is to keep it around 80 unless you're going on something like a road trip. So at the end of the day, I could totally understand why the Tesla Model Y is the most popular car in the world. It offers so much to consumers at a price that I really feel now is pretty reasonable. Plus, if you're eligible for the EV tax credit, getting a Model Y right now really could be a deal that's too hard to pass up. The car offers a compelling package that combines performance, range, technology, impressive acceleration, advanced features, and a design that may not be the best, but offers a ton of practical functionality in return. But hey, that's just me, and I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think about the Tesla Model Y? Do you think this car is worthy of the crown it now wears? Or do you think it's still all hype? Curious to get your thoughts, let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. And in case you guys are interested in learning more about the 2023 Tesla Model 3, check out these videos here, they're going to help you be as informed as possible.